Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zero, back with another video. Today we're going to cover another Storm build which most people are using for Grandmaster runs, for legendary contracts, and also Stronghold speed runs. And I call this build the Fire Ice build. So we're going to cover the build first, and then we move to the fashion aspects, covering how I fashion forge from top to bottom. And to top it off, we're going to give you a bit of gameplay. Alright, let's start with the build first. Let's go. Alright, let's start with the focus seal first, which is 10,000 Suns, which is an upgraded version of Burning Orb. Its special Striker's Wrath, after hitting an enemy, gains 5% increased damage for 5 seconds, stacks to 20. Pretty good, I must say, a bit lackluster, but it's a good detonating ability regardless. Just that in order to detonate, you have to charge first because you can detonate. And for its blast seal, I use Winter's Wrath. An upgraded version of Ice Storm, one of the most used abilities or gear in the game if you're main a Storm. It's special if you defeat an enemy from above, it refills its charges, but it only can occur every 10 seconds. Very useful to pair up with a very good detonating gear or ability, which is in this case 10,000 Suns. This build is very standard for most, but it's very used across the community of the Anthem world. And with that out of the way, let's see its components. For its components, first up we have Mark Clarity. Descriptions wise, it increased elemental damage resistance by 35%, and its special killing status restore 20% armor can occur for every 10 seconds. Next we have Token Daring. Description increases elemental damage by 35% and decreases physical damage by 35%. And its special, a shield break, increases shield damage by 20% for 20 seconds. Next we have Vanguard's Token. Descriptions wise, it increases armor by 25%, very useful indeed. Special, a shield break increases damage resistance by 10% for 20 seconds. Next we have Mark of Ruin. Description wise, increases fire damage by 5% and fire effect by 5%. It's special, while L1 is recharged, R1 increases its damage by 20% for 20 seconds. Next we have Gunslinger Mark, which is description increases gear recharge rate by 50% and lower gear damage by 20%. Special, hovering increases all weak points by 0%. I'll get back to that later. Token of Pupil, description wise, increases the number of combo chains by 2, and also a special, hitting an enemy with L1 increases R1 damage by 60% for 5 seconds. Alright, for some of these components, I use a bug, for example the Gunslinger's Mark, but I use it for the main ability, which is its recharge time, which is super useful. As for my support gear, I use Quickening Field, nothing special, but when I want to use or in need of my abilities, this gear will be very useful. And now let's look for the weapons. For the weapons, first up with the Unending Battle, the legendary variant. Description wise is an upgraded version of Fulcrum. Special is Gladiator's Wrath. Hitting an enemy at point blank range increases weapon and melee damage by 110% for 5 seconds. Very good when it comes to close quarter, even though Storm is built for range, but I tend to play recklessly with this build. So with this weapon, it increases my damage, allowing me for greater finishes and combos, and it's really good at melting shields. Next up, we have Elemental Rage. Description is an upgraded defender. Alright, one of the standard weapons that you get in the first few times that we actually play the defender, you know, the first weapon. Alright, with special Veteran's Furor. Hitting an elite enemies increase all elemental damage for 5% for 10 seconds and it stacks to 20. This weapon increases my elemental damage and stacks with other buffs. My javelins hits like a truck. Really. It really hits like that. Enough said. Alright, weapons check, gear check, components check, support gear check. Now comes the best part, the fashion. Let's take a look at how I forged it up and make sure you take notes down, right? Let's go. For this javelin look, I decided to go for a more dirtier look that gives a burnt up, just came back from battle or war or something kind of thing, and it's really kind of rustic. with orange and peach accents that gives an old rustic look, and you can dress it up really well in this kind of thing. And if you actually copy my look, you can see the details of the cloth designs, which is really subtle but really nice to look at up close. And as for the vinyls, if you're a big fan of BioWare or Mass Effect series, you should know what vinyls I'm using. Feel free to pause the video to achieve the look, and you can actually look at the description down below to see what I use to actually have this kind of look for your javelin. Alright, that wraps up for this video. I hope you find this video very informative, entertaining and useful. I leave you with some gameplay, and as usual, if you want to see me live, I'll be live on Twitch at twitch.tv/ZeroCell, and also don't forget to join the Zero Troopers Discord, where you can keep in touch and share opinions, builds and fashion forge, and also many more. Well, also don't forget to like and subscribe. That would be really appreciative of y'all. And it's free too. Well, I hope you have a good one. Peace.